You are welcome to this section of our training. Today we are going to be looking at how to power on and off the computer system. We'll also talk about booting and the types of booting. We'll look at the desktop environment. We'll look at mouse techniques. We'll look at accessing and launching programs. We'll also look at creating shortcuts for your program. Now on the screen, take a look at this. On most electronic gadgets that you have an object that looks like this object here, which is the power button. So to power on and off your system, you press that part of the computer that has this button, either the desktop or the laptop. There's a place on the system where you have this. Sometimes it may look hidden, sometimes you have to look at it by the side, sometimes it's at the left hand side and the right hand, and even sometimes it might be at the back of the system, especially if you make use of a laptop. So press that and the laptop will start booting. That leads us to talk about booting. Booting is the process by which the computer system prepares itself for operation. It involves the steps that the system goes through in order to prepare the operating system and prepare other application software before the computer user can begin to use them. That is booting. We have two types of booting. Number one is the what's it called? The cold booting, and number two is the warm booting. In cold booting, that is where you press the power button on the computer system and then the system begins to boot. The warm booting is where you have to click on the start button just like this. That is, the system is already on for warm booting. The system is on already, and then you want to restart the system. That is when you warm boot. To warm boot means to restart the system so that it can start afresh. And we do that most time when we see that the system is lagging, the system is slow, the system is probably hanging or skipping. Now, when you click on this, you have the power button here. Here it gives you three options. You have the sleep, the shutdown, and the restart. When you shut down, you are turning it off completely. But when you restart, the system will turn off and then turn itself on again. That is warm booting. The next thing on our theme is the desktop environment. Anytime you put on your computer system, after booting, it will take you to a place. The initial place it takes you to, like this, my screen you are looking at, is what we call the desktop environment. On the desktop environment, you have a number of things that we are going to look at now. Number one, you have the desktop background. The desktop background is a picture on which all the other objects stays. This background picture is called wallpaper. You can change it whichever way you wanted. Go to your settings, go to appearance, and then you can choose a picture. You have actually some nice pictures you can choose. I decided to use this simple background. So you can choose a wallpaper of your choice to replace your background. You can even put your own picture, your family picture, and so on and so forth. So apart from the background, we have these objects you have on the screen. We call them desktop icons, or we call them icons for short. All of these are icons. Icons are objects of small pictures that give you access to either a file, a program, or a folder. For instance, this is a file here. If I double click it, it's going to open it up as a Microsoft Word file. This is a picture. If I double click, it opens as a JPEG file. This is a program. This is a browser. If I click on it, double click on it, it will open up my browser and search for browsing. So all these icons give you access to different things, different programs, folders, and files on the system. Then number three thing is the taskbar. The taskbar is at the bottom of the system. By default, you have them here. You can also reset it to be at the top, to be at the side, whichever way you want. But by default, it's at the bottom of your screen. This taskbar contains programs that are already running. For instance, I have this program running, and so it is showing up here. If I put on any other program, for instance, let me click on this Google Chrome. When Google Chrome begins to run, you automatically see that it appears, apart from it opening up here, you can also see that this appears on the taskbar. So if I close it, it will go away from the taskbar. Now, there are also some programs that are not running but are there, but are also found on the taskbar, like this Sublime Text, this folder, this Microsoft Edge, and this. All of these, they are not running, but they are appearing on the taskbar. Why is this so? It is so because I make use of these programs frequently, and I decide to pin them to the taskbar so that anytime I need to use them, I'll have to just go through this short way to launch the program. So we have looked at the background, icons, the taskbar. Then the start button is the fourth thing. This start button is one of the most powerful objects you have on the desktop. When you click on the start button, it will lead you to a host of files and programs. You have a lot of programs here, except files that you pin to the start button, you won't find them here. But programs, all the programs you have on your system are going to show up on the start click. So when you click on the start button, it will show you all of this. So if, for instance, I want to go to Microsoft Office, I can look for Microsoft Office here. And then when I click on it, I have all the things under Microsoft Office. If I go to Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Access, PowerPoint, and so on and so forth, I can click on any of them. So we have the background for the desktop, we have the icons, we have the taskbar, and we have the start button. Now, we are going to look at mouse techniques next. So, for the mouse, you have 5 basic operations. Number 1 is the left click. Number 2 is the right click. Number 3 is double clicking. And number 4 is click and drag. Number 5 is the use of the scroll wheel. On the mouse, you have the left hand side of the mouse. You have the right hand side of the mouse. Sorry, let me show us this again. Okay, this is the left hand side of the mouse. When you click here, it is left click. This is the right hand side. When you click here, it is right click. Most times you are going to be making use of this left click. At the middle side, you have a wheel we call the scroll wheel. The scroll wheel is used to navigate up and down the page where you are. When you click on the left, it is to select an object to launch a program. Then if you click a program twice, you are opening the program or opening the file. To left click is to get more options for the object you are currently on. And then the scroll wheel helps you to navigate up and down. If you're using a laptop, your mouse is likely to look like this. On this side, you have the left hand side, which is the left button. You can click here. And on this side, you have the right click button. Now, because of time, I'm going to show us in practice how left click, right click, click and drag works, and how to use that to arrange the object on your desktop, as well as look at how to launch files and programs, and how to create shortcuts for files and programs. So stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.